Now that you've had some time to review sampling and sampling bias and possibly learn a little bit more than you knew before, let's take a look at an example. Our goal is going to be to determine which scenario below is the best method of sampling, and we're going to talk about the types of biases that might occur in each of the methods given. Before we do that, let's take a look back at what we did Monday and find our case and our variable and what type of variable we have in our scenario. Suppose you want to estimate the average number of hours that students in our school spend studying each week. Here, we're looking at surveying the students in our school, and so our case would be each student. We want to know how many hours they spend studying each week, and so our number of hours is going to be our variable. Because we're looking at a numerical quantity, that quantity or that variable is quantitative. So now we have to decide of these 6 options, which one is going to be the best method of sampling. So which one is going to give us the most representative sample of the students in our school? Our first choice is to go to the library and ask all the students there how much they study. Our second choice is to email all students asking how much they study and use all the data you get. Our third choice is to choose a sample of friends that resembles the general population of students at our school. Our fourth choice is to anonymously survey each student in our class, require all students to respond. Our fifth choice is to stop people at random walking in the halls between classes and ask how much time they spend studying. And our final choice is to select the names of every 5th student from a list of all the students in the school, require them to respond to a survey. I want you to take a moment and decide which of those options you think is going to be our best method of sampling. Do we go to the library and ask students, email students and see what data we get, choose a sample of our friends, anonymously survey every student in our class, stop people at random walking in the halls, or select the names of every 5th student from a list of all of the students in the school? Some of you might be surprised to learn that F is our best option. Some of you were thinking, let's go to the library. Well, if we go to the library, we may find that the students there study a bit more than those students that don't go to the library. Our second choice, to email all students and see what data we get, is also biased. We may only get some students to respond, and those that respond may be those that are more likely to be the ones doing the studying. Our third option is also biased. If we're choosing a sample of our friends, that sample isn't randomly selected. I bet some of you picked D. It reminds you of one of those sampling techniques you just learned about. But notice that depending on the people in our class, it may not be a true sample or a representative sample of the students in our school. If our class is made up of all seniors, or made up of all freshmen, or made up of all girls, or made up of all sports players, we're looking at something that's not representative. Therefore, would not be a good sample of our population. E was a tempting choice also, stopping people randomly in the hallways between classes. And this may not be a bad way, but it definitely wasn't our best way. You may miss students that don't come to that part of the building, don't come down that hallway ever. Or if you're working in the high school side of the building and you have freshmen that don't have classes on that side, you may miss that entire group of your population. that takes us back to our final option, which was selecting the names of every fifth student from a list of all of the students in the school. While this may not give us the perfect representative sample, it is the one that is most likely of our choices to give us a representative sample of our population.